Alright, so we're back with episode 2 of our multiplayer Hearts of Iron 4 game. Having some issues. We had at least one person, Sir Moose Jaws, wasn't able to get into the game for some reason, a different version now. And a couple of other folks just are MIA at the moment. So as of now, it's just me, Finland, Japan, and Germany. So it's basically me versus a bunch of fascists. So we'll see how that all works out for me. I'm giving everybody a minute to get started, and then we will pick up where we left off. So since I'm not involved in any wars, I'm going to go ahead and start doing some exercises so I can build up some army experience, because I want to do some editing to my divisions. Meanwhile, they're all gaining army experience through their other wars. So obviously if I do end up in combat, at some point I'll be going up against much more experienced armies than the ones that I have. So let's go ahead and take a look if there are any current justifications happening. Yeah, Germany's justifying on Sweden at the moment. That's about it. Looks like some folks are justifying against Turkey. Now I could get crazy and go after Finland because he's already at war, but I think I'll stay out of that for now. Alright, well, Poland's out. It's September 1937, and Poland is no more. So Germany's suddenly got a big old border that it shares with me. I've got a serious attrition issue right now. And I'm going to try to build up as much army experience as I can. And try to make these units more reliable. Just going to try to do what I can to make my army as effective as possible. But that 6% attrition, I'm just not a fan of that. But that's mostly because I'm doing exercises. There's transpolar flights. Alright, I don't think I'm too worried about any of this right now, but we can do anti-fascist diplomacy if I want to go down that route. Not entirely sure yet which way I want to go. Rehabilitated military it is. Alright, we've got the USA back. Robert Roberts has returned. So we're just missing our China and Brazil players. Military access? No, sorry dude. Herr Rommel, I want to stay on good terms with you, but I'm not giving you military access. In fact, I'm just going to make sure I've got this nice big army on your border here, which is currently training. And let's go ahead and throw a bunch more divisions into the field so they can be training as well. I'm just trying to spam as many divisions as possible. I don't even know where I'm putting them in the field right now. Looks like here's some of them. Yeah, you can ask more than once. It's not going to change the answer. Alright, so let's check on this. I'm in the middle of trying to stage a coup in France, and it looks like that'll happen in July of 1938. So a little while away yet. The Communist Party's at 62% right now in France. So that's good news. Oh, look, China has declared war. There's my non-aggression pact with the U.S. We got that back. I don't think our China player is in right now, so I'm not sure how that's gonna play out. But my main thing right now is just keeping my eyes on these fascist countries that are around me. It looks like Canada's got some landings in Finland at the moment. So the situation right now is that Herr Rommel with Germany's trying to get his troops up to Greater Finland to help his ally out. And I have refused his military access demands, and so Finland has started justifying war against me now. He is more than welcome to do that, but that is not going to end well for him, so we'll see how that all goes down. I'm in the process of finishing up getting my divisions the way that I want them now. And I'm going to add these 2 artillery battalions so I can get myself to that 20 combat width, which I'm at now. I can pump out another big line of divisions if I want to. I think I'm going to go ahead and start training some armored divisions now as well. Those will be my primary offensive weapon when the time comes. And we'll train up 5 of those at a time. Alright, so Finland has finished his justification. Now the big question, of course, is will he follow through on his threat? I would suggest it would be very poor advice for him to do so. That doesn't mean he won't. But I'm going to reorganize some of my divisions here and get myself ready for a possible war. Alright, UK declared war on Yugoslavia, which has now joined the Axis. So we're into February of 1938, and Germany says he has stabilized the situation in the Ruhr with France. He really just needs to hold out till July, when my communist coup will take over in France and hopefully remove France from the Allies and turn them into a communist country. They're heavily communist at the moment. Looks like Finland is in trouble, but our Finland player has already asked if it'd be alright again to see if he rejoins as someone else, and I told him that was totally fine with me. So we'll keep him in the game just as probably a different power. There's the Anschluss of Austria. And we're going to go transformation of nature, get those big political points. Because right now I'm not gaining very many political points because I'm staging the coup and boosting the ideology in France. Oh, Italy has joined the Axis. So it's a nice little time there for Germany. They gained Austria, and now they've added Italy to the Axis, who he immediately goes to war against France, opens up another front there. So some much needed good news for the Germans. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and go after Romania. Let's get that oil. That's about the best resource-laden country I can go after. So we'll start lining up some fresh divisions. I'll get a whole new army together whose sole purpose is the invasion of Romania. Alright, so as expected, Gindice's been knocked out of the game as Finland. He's rejoining as nationalist Spain, which gives the Axis another interesting power to play as. Looks like he just went back in as Finland. I'm not sure why, but I thought he was going to join as Spain. Alright, so he has joined as nationalist Spain. So he's going to take a little time to get caught up to speed, but that suddenly opens up another front that will go against France. So this war is going to turn against France quickly in a bad way, especially when the coup happens here very soon. Well, you can see we're into May of 1938 now, and things have turned decidedly against France. Our penalty for the purge is getting lower and lower, which is helpful. Italy's moved in to France. Germany's moving into France. I'm just wondering if by the time I'm able to launch this coup, if there's even going to still be a France. So that may have all been for nothing at this point. But we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll hang on. Maybe I need to send France some support to kind of prop them up for the time being, just to see. But I can only send 4 divisions, so I'm not entirely sure how much that's going to help. But you know what, maybe we do that just because. So I think I'm going to go ahead and set up a couple of divisions for France. I'll send them some of my new ones. I'll send them 4 infantry divisions. It's not going to make much of a difference, but maybe it slows them down just a little bit. I don't know. Oh, now I can do 5, huh? Okay. So we'll add 1 more. It's going to take a while for him to even get there. Paris may fall before I can even send these volunteers. Yeah, they're about to lose Paris. All right, so France has capitulated, and the U.S. is now fascist, which means I am the only human player who is not fascist at this point. So unfortunately, I think sooner rather than later, I'm going to have to go after the German Reich. I'm going to have to take Romania first. I want to try and get their oil. But I'm going to have to start figuring out what I do against Germany, because he's going to become too powerful now that he's got all this extra territory and all these friends. Alright, so I'm going to start queuing up a bunch of military factories now, because I don't have nearly enough for what I want to do. I want to start mass producing tanks for my armored divisions, which I've just upgraded to my newest form of the tanks, the B7. Now I'm going for medium tanks, A32s. This is going to get tough when I'm facing down all these fascist divisions at once. We're about a month away from being able to invade Romania. Finland has returned to the world stage. They're now a democratic republic. They've been puppeted by the Allies. Got to check out what our friend down here in Spain's doing. He's obviously, I think, at some point going to join the Axis as soon as he's able to do so. Looks like he hasn't yet. So U.S. is just having trouble. He can't get out of the depression. He's trying to get to the place where he can. But world tension's at 100, so that concerns me a little bit, because that frees up the U.S. to do more than he otherwise could. My goal was to have 300 divisions, I think, by 1939. I'll certainly be there. I'm up at about 240, 250 right now. But I'm having a little trouble here. It's not letting me assign some of these divisions to my armies. It's not even giving me the option for an army here. So I'm not entirely sure what has happened. But my little army interface is just gone at the moment when I select these armies. Well, as expected, nationalist Spain has joined the Allies. We kind of knew that was coming. I've got to select a national focus, and I think we'll go... Yeah, it won't let me go that way. Okay, I've got to have all of these first, so we'll do that. Alright, so just to put things in perspective for just a second, I currently have 2.18 million men in the field. And I've got another 1.9 million in manpower I could put in the field if necessary. Just to put that in perspective, that is basically equal to the fielded manpower of the entire Allies or Axis right now. So that's the good news. The bad news is, obviously, just because I've got a lot of manpower doesn't mean they're necessarily well-equipped, well-experienced troops. So we're going to get a little bit of experience invading Romania. I've got 4 armies on the line for this. I'm going to basically send 3 of them and then hold one at the line. We'll see how that all works out for me. But we got about a week until that invasion begins. Alright, so our coup is going to go on as scheduled and free France. So the French Commune declared war on Free France. The French Commune basically is the Sahara Desert. So that's kind of interesting. We're going to invite them to our faction. And now we're going to declare war on Romania. And so far, not real impressed with how the war is gonna go right off the bat. It looks like we're failing all the way along the line. I may have to get some more divisions down there. This is not necessarily helpful, but the good news is it's a war of attrition for me, and there's no way that he can possibly stand up long term against all these divisions. Alright, well, Romania went and joined the Allies, so now I'm at war with the Allies. That was an unexpectedly bad turn for me in a war that's already not going well. So now I've got to contend with all of them. So this is going to get interesting now, because now I'm going to have to contend with basically half the world. I'm at war with Romania, the United Kingdom, and all of their constituent states, Sweden, Communist China, Finland. But I'm on the side of all of the Axis powers in that war. So interesting. I've lost 100,000 men already. Romania's lost just 5,000. So the human wave not going so well for me so far. I'm just continually pounding him, and eventually it's going to work because he's gonna get low on manpower. But right now it's just not a good deal for me at all. All right, we've signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact with the Germans, our new German friends. So it's basically the Soviet Union and the Axis versus the Allies at this point. That is not how I thought this was going to go down, but that's the way it's going down. So I'm trying to get some troops up here on the border so I can deal with the Allied threat up there. I've obviously removed them from the border with Germany. I am still trying to make that initial breakthrough in Romania, which has just been brutal for me, and we can see the numbers here. I've lost 231,000 men, and Romania has lost... Where did they even go? Interesting, I can't even find them. Oh, there they are. 12,000. My goodness. Well, that's probably because he's got allies in there at this point. Or maybe not. Maybe he's just fortified. I don't know what's going on here. But it's insane that I can't break through in Romania. Alright, so Germany honored the pact, which means he's given up some territory in eastern Poland, which I will now occupy. And that actually helps me a little bit because that suddenly opens up a little more front. The purge has been successful. That removes that national spirit from me. What do we have here? We can invite... Alright, cool. We're going to invite these various states here to the faction. Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia. So a lot going down all in a short time. I'm still trying to get my armies in play the way that I want them. All right, the breakthrough is finally happening in Romania. I think that pact with the Germans certainly helped, and now it's opened up another front for him as well. I'm also marching into Finland, which is going pretty well so far. He doesn't even have anybody to stop me on the southern side, and we just got to contain him up on the northern side. So once all that happens, I'll start to feel like things are settling down a little bit. Let's just take a look at what the war looks like here. This is the German-British war. It's going 32% in favor of the aggressors. Obviously, my massive manpower is helping, but you can see that number's going down fast because I've lost a lot of men. 321,000 casualties already. And that just is part of the process of being the Soviet Union, having massive amounts of numbers, but not real good quality on my forces. All right, I've taken Finland out of the war, and with it, I just grabbed about 700 or 600 tanks. So that was kind of nice. So we're going to deal with these couple of pockets of Allied resistance now, and we're just about ready to wrap up this episode. I'm starting to march in on Romania now. They won't be long for this world. And now Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania want to send expeditionary forces to help me out. So I think that may be a good stopping point right there. I told them about 10 more minutes, but I'm trying to remember how many minutes ago that was. I guess we've still got about 5 minutes, but I'll wrap up the recording for this particular episode right there. Boy, things have sure changed since where it was last week. All of this territory is now mine, all because I invaded Romania, and it looks like now I'm on the side of the Axis, which is the folks I thought were going to be my mortal enemies in this game. So, interesting developments. We'll see what next episode holds. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you again next week with another episode in this series.